everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Awakening Chit Chat. My name is Aline, and today I have the great pleasure to be in conversation with Judi, also known as the Roaming Lioness on Instagram. To introduce Judi, I would say that Judi is a digital content creator and a coach, and her mission is to empower digital nomads and world travelers to overcome individual challenges. And in today's episode, we are more specifically going to talk about a fascinating tool called human design. Personally, human design came into my life through my sister, who introduced it to me. And I'm always very eager to learn more about this very powerful tool. And I know that Judi is an expert in human design, could we say? Hi, Judi, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. I'm so glad to be here today with you.
Yeah, it's very nice to have you. So just to let people know, you are currently in Berlin, Germany. Yeah.
I am in Germany, not in Berlin. The time zone is Berlin. Yeah, but I'm a little bit south of Berlin, but yeah, Germany.
All right, cool, wonderful. And just to tell a little bit of a story, because there's always a story behind how two people meet. It happened on social media, and basically, I remember it was a week where I told my sister, "Okay, I just want to have a free not a free, but I want a human design reading." And no joke, the next day I see your post about this competition to win a human design reading. So I participated. I tagged my sister, and I won the reading. But my sister also won one. So that was kind of funny. And then that's how we got to know each other a little bit better. And you did a reading for me, and that was wonderful.
Yeah, the fun thing is, back then I didn't even know that you were sisters, so I didn't even know you were connected. So it was just super fun that both of you won the reading. Yeah.
No, that was so beautiful. So I guess my first question for you would be, when and how did human design find you? Like, where were you in your life? Like, where were you at this point in time, and were you already working as a coach?
So I was at the point in my life where I knew something had to change for me. So I started 2 months prior a business coaching where I learned how to start a business, trained my mindset to think more like an entrepreneur rather than an employee. And I wanted to coach parents with disabled children just because I'm an occupational therapist and I thought this is the way I'm going to go. And then I think I was in this program for maybe a month, 1.5 months. And then there was one of the other participants coming to me and saying, "Judi, have you ever heard about human design?" I was like, "No, I have not. Tell me more about it." So she tried to explain it to me. It didn't make much sense. So I went online, pulled up my chart, looked at my chart, and next to the chart, usually you have some information like your generator, your projector, your this profile, whatever. And I read through it and I looked at the chart and I was like, what the fuck's that? That no, doesn't make sense. So I closed it up again. I was like, nah, I don't think this is something for me. Then maybe a month, 2 months later, another girl came to me. She didn't know about the first interaction and said, "Judi, do you know about human design? I think this could be something for you." I was like, oh, okay, it's the second one. Maybe I should look into that a little bit more. So I went to Google and I asked, okay, Google, what does it mean to have an undefined ajna or a defined heart or whatever I asked back then. And I came back to the incarnation cross. I don't know how I got to there, but somehow I ended up with the incarnation cross. And of course, if you have no idea about human design, this is deep dive. This doesn't make sense at all. And I said, you know what? No, human design. I'm sorry, girls, but this is nothing for me. It's too complicated. Doesn't make sense. And then maybe 2 weeks later, there was an advertisement in the newspaper, someone looking for 10 people she can do a human design reading for free because she wanted to practice. And I was like, okay, you know what? 3 times is the charm. Let's give this one last try because somehow it always comes back to me. So I applied. She said, yes, you got the last spot. And then we met up. And then ever since then, I'm on fire. I was like, oh my God, if I would have known this is what human design is about, how can a person that
Yeah.
doesn't know me tell me everything about me? I was blown away. I started my own classes and everything. And yeah, this was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I guess it's like, it's one of those things that really can transform someone's life. And it's like, there's no turning back. Once you've known about it, it's just like, you keep on going and diving deeper and deeper into the system and into the layers of your being, I guess, and understanding yourself even more. And have a bit of a challenging question now.
Go for it. I love
because,
challenges.
because we both know that human design is quite complex. If you had to describe human design in just 3 words, what would they be?
That is a good question. And I mean, you know what? If you would ask me that question tomorrow, I probably would have a different answer. But for now, I think the words that resonate most with me when I think of human design is calmness, just because it gives you that calmness about who you are. I would probably choose translation, because I think with human design, you don't learn anything new about yourself or about maybe about others, but not about yourself, but you get a translation for the feelings that you need words for, the behaviors that you have, but it makes sense because you get words to describe why you are the way you are. Even though it doesn't need a translation, but it helps to feel more at ease with oneself. So I think translation would be a good one. And depth. I think I would use depth, because it goes if you wanted it to.
It goes deep.
Yeah.
They're really, really good words.
Thank you.
I actually, the first one took me by surprise, calmness. I never thought about it that way, but you're right. And it actually reminds me of how I felt when Ayurveda, the traditional Indian medicine, came into my life and put words onto intuitive knowings about, myself and my body and my personality. And it was a sense of being at peace as well with certain aspects of myself. And you're right, it does bring calmness into the mix.
What were you?
Wow, well,
if you would choose 3 words, what would the words be for you?
I guess understanding. Because I believe that it does bring a bit of an understanding, even though, as you said, we already know these things, but it goes so deep that it's like putting, pieces of a puzzle together. And sometimes it brings another layer of understanding of ourselves.
That's true.
And mystery in the sense that I still, cannot grasp the entirety of the system, or the origins of the system. And there's an understanding at the soul level, I guess, but the mind is trying to grasp how is that even possible. And to me, there's a massive mystery around the whole human design thing, even you can tell us more about,
It's funny that you say that, because I don't care at all where it comes from or how it works. But it's just because my energy works in a different way than yours. So some people, they want to everything absolutely in detail. They want to know how things happen and why is this, and they ask questions and all that. And I'm always thinking them like, that's impressive. I would have never thought of this question, just because my system just works differently. So I find that so interesting.
And I guess it's like, to me, it doesn't matter actually as well where it comes from. It just makes so much sense. And it's like these things that I've discovered through human design were just emphasized, or it was like already things that I had noticed, and then it was like written down. It was, oh my God, yes, exactly. Like this is really, this explains a lot. So
Yeah.
yeah. And the third one would be powerful. It's such
Helpful. Yeah.
a
I love that. Yeah.
powerful, yeah, I think it's such a powerful tool that you can use for so many different things and apply in so many different areas of your life,
Yeah.
that I think there's great power in knowing this tool. And having said that, I always feel like we also have to live this life in a spontaneous way, at times and in the moment and all of that. So I think there's a bit of both. Like it's really great to have those tools, and they're very powerful, and also finding that balance of not getting lost in all of that as well. Yeah, I guess these
Yeah,
are
I
my
like these words
words.
as well. Yeah, I probably would integrate them into mine as well, just because they're so cute.
Now, if let's say nobody knows anything about human design, and they come to you and they ask you, Judi, what is human design? What is HD? Like, what are the different types? What are those numbers that we see when we do our charts? Or what do they call authority? What is that strategy thing they keep talking about? Could you please take us through the fundamentals of human design?
Yes, absolutely. When someone would come to me and ask me that, I would always explain it with their chart, with their design, because they can identify with what I say about their own type and authority. So I would never say it in such a wide range thing. I would always make it super specific for this person, just because it's easier to understand then. But since we could do it with your chart if you like. I might
Yes,
still
we can.
somewhere. Let me.
Do you still have it?
I think I might still have it. Yeah, let me quickly check.
There you go. We're going to go through my chart. So first of all, what do you need to get your chart? Which elements do you need to get your human design chart?
Yeah. So if you want to pull out your chart, you would need the day you were born, the time you were born. And if you don't know your time exactly, like your mom doesn't remember, or there's no records in the hospital or whatever it is, there are ways to figure out what is the most likable time that you were born. You would need an experienced reader for that though. But you can figure this out. Just maybe you were born around this time, just because you can identify with that, because there are a few things in the chart where it's easy to identify. Let me put it this way. And the place you were born. So the day, the time, and the place you were born. These three informations, and then you just go online and Google or whatever searching machine you're using, and design chart calculator or chart or whatever, and then there are a million places where you can get your human design chart.
All right, cool. Good to know. We'll put a link. I'll put a link in the comment below for anyone who wants to do their chart for free.
Yeah, I do have some recommendations. Maybe I can send them to you, and you just put in things that I would recommend, just because I think they are the most.
That'd be great.
Yeah, the ones that I use. Let me put it this way. All of them are great, but these are the ones that I use. All right, so if you see a human design chart, you put in your data into the chart calculator, and then you get your chart. What you see is usually a chart, a body graph, we call it, with 9 centers. It's either a triangle or some rectangles, or maybe even sometimes a circle. And then you have left and right some numbers. And this is kind of like the way your energy works. You can see. Oh, let me put it a different way. So why we need your birth data is because with the birth data, we can see the position of the planets at the time of your birth. And each planet has an impact on you, how your energy works, and they activate some potentials that you have. So some might be super easy to speak to. Another one is super emotional. Another one is very will strong, or whatever it is. But this is because of the time you were born, because the planets have an impact on who you are. This is the first part. This is one of the the right column of the numbers, and the left column is the same position, is also the position of the planets, but this is about 88 days prior to your birth, because they say when the soul enters the body, when the soul decides, you know what, this is the body, the human being that I want to bring my task, the thing why I'm on the planet. This is the body, how to make this work. And these are all potentials that get activated that others feel more in you than you might yourself. The more you feel into that, the older you get, the more experienced you are, the more access you have to these kind of potentials. But especially in the beginning of your life, these are more things that other people see in you. And when you have a look at your body craft, you see different colors in these triangles and rectangles and all that. And each body center stands for a different kind of energy. So we have one center that stands for the inspiration, one where opinions are formed, the next one is for how you communicate, and so on. If a center is colored in and we say that is defined, that means this is energy that you give to your outside world. You are with yourself, and this energy is always there for you, and other people can always feel this kind of energy. It's like a reliable source of energy for you. So in your case, I just give an example. You, for example, have a defined throat center. That means your communication is strong. It is reliable. If you have to talk about something that you are familiar with, you can do that just like that. If I would ask you questions about something that you aren't prepared for, you could just talk about it. Someone with an undefined center might not be so comfortable doing that. They like to be prepared a little bit better. And the beauty that they bring to the world when they have an undefined center is that they can feel what the other wants to say, and they are a really good listener, and they can use the words that you are using, and they can really go onto the level that you're communicating on. And this gives a really great connection. So the most important thing is there is no bad or wrong or like good. It's not, oh, you have a defined throat. Amazing. Oh, you have an undefined throat. Ooh, that's not the best. It's not like that. No, everything is great. Everything is light and shiny together. So that's super, super important. So no matter how your chart looks like, it's always perfect the way it is. It's all about to understand and to see the beauty in your energies, because it's always there. And then with the center, so like each center has its own energy, and then you see the lines between these centers, and they have like numbers, and sometimes the numbers are connected through a colored in line. These numbers are the potentials that get activated through the planets. For example, when you look at the columns with the numbers, and all the way on top, that's the conscious sun on the right side. This a little circle with the point inside. This is the most important gate for you, because this is kind of the reason why you're on Earth. This is a topic that will always come back and will always have an importance for you. And depending on where the number is, you can look in your chart and find the number in your chart. And so this one is activated. And when the partner, the one across it, is also activated, they form a channel, and that's a talent. This is something, an energy that is with you all the time, and that gives you the opportunity to do things that others can't do. With you, for example, you have the ability to lead people when you are invited to do so. This is a really great channel for business, for gathering a group together, for being the authority, but it has to be invited. That's super important. It's not that you can say, oh, I am the leader, follow me because I know best. It's more that people already see that in you. So it's a really soft energy, but it's also really strong. You have that. I don't have that. I have different energies. So these are kind of talents that you have. And then this all comes together, and I could talk forever about this. But I know we want to keep going. And then you talk about the energy types, the 5 different that we have. They are the most important thing. I got a little bit.
It's all good. I love it. I love it. You're inspired. Just, whatever comes. Good.
Yeah. So with the energy types, we have 5 different ones, and these are the most important things because this is the one that we connect with next to the profile. the energy type and the profile, these are the most important things to connect with others. And each energy type has their own way of dealing with the world. So I, for example, am a manifesting generator, and I'm on the world in the world to get things going, to get things done, to work, to be in my happiness. So when I can do things that I'm absolutely passionate about, I can work 7/24, like 7 days, 24 hours, doesn't matter. I have a lot of energies if I have fun doing so. And my strategy is always to react to things. So when you gave me the invitation for today's episode, I was like, oh my God, yes. That was my response, my reaction. And for you being a projector, so it depends on what centers are defined in your chart, but you being a projector, you are not the one that reacts to things. For you, it's most important to be invited. And invited means that people show you that it's important that you are you, that they want to be with you, that they want you to be on their team, that they want to spend time with you because you are you. Not because you're available or they are like bored or whatever. It is because they appreciate who you are. And that's the most important thing for you. I can get going without that. I don't need that. If I enjoy what I do, I don't need anyone else telling me, oh, I want you to be there. I just go for it. For you, it's different. It's beautiful as well. It's just different. And so each type is their different strategy and their different way of going into the world.
Yeah. So in terms of the different types, we have the manifesting generator, you said?
Yeah.
The projector, and then what else? What do you have?
So I would always start with the generator just because it's the type that's most common. So we, like most of the people, are generators. And then we have manifestors. And when they both come together, they create the hybrid form, like the manifesting generators. And sometimes you hear that they say manifesting generator is not a separate energy type. There is only a generator and a manifestor. I disagree, but you know, each has their own opinion. I say like 5 types. And then we have the projector, and then we have the reflector. So generator, manifestor, manifesting generator, projector, and a reflector.
Okay, interesting. I didn't know we placed the manifestors after the generators, because can you tell us about the percentage, or the approximation of, like, the percentage of population, you know, who's generators? And
yeah, I mean, I won't use numbers just because like I don't know the numbers by heart, but I know that about, I don't know, like over a third of the populations are generators. And then we have the other third that are manifesting generators. So yes, this makes the most of population. So like you said, it's not that the manifestor is more, that you find more often manifestors than manifesting generators. I just have that to explain that the manifesting generator is a hybrid of these two. Because the manifesting generator has the energy of the generator, but also feels the energy of the manifesting part. So this is why I put them together. So the first group, the biggest, are the generators and MGs, we call them. Then you have projectors, like maybe 20% of the humankind are projectors. Then we have the manifestors, and reflectors. They are super like rare. I mean, they say they are rare. I have a few reflectors in my friendship circle, but
you do?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't know why, but I do, and I work with reflectors together as well. But yeah, they are not as common as any other type.
Yeah. Okay. And so when we do our chart or body graph, it always comes with 2 main numbers next to our profile. So could you tell us about those 2 numbers, what they represent, and maybe either your example or my example, whichever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just use both examples just to see, to show the difference, or maybe I even go through all the lines. So this is called profile. We have 12 different profiles, and 6 are more common than the other 6. And this is kind of the way the world sees you and the world connects with you. So for example, I am a 4/6. So my conscious line is a 4 and my unconscious line is a 6. I connect best with another 4/6 or with a 1/3. These are my harmonic people that understand, that fill the gap that I don't like, that I can't fill. So these are like my people. You are a 5/2, so for you it would be the 2/5 just the opposite around, because they are already the harmonic lines with each other. So this is how we connect with people. And each line, we have 6 in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 has their different energies as well. And if you, I mean, I could just go through each line and just give a brief summary about the line, because whoever watches this might have a different line. So if they can identify with that. So people with 1 in their profile, this could be a 1-3, a 4-1, a 5-1, wherever the 1 comes in. And people with a 1 like to know things. They want to know, they want to understand, they want to be involved, they want to, you know, listen to podcasts, go to YouTube, watch documentaries, read books. They want to do another class and another class here. And oh, this is interesting. Oh, I don't know enough. Let me do this class again. So this is the number 1. They are super, super interested in the world and they want to learn things. The funny thing is, you have that too. You want to know things as well. Not because you
do.
yes, you do. And that is because of your design, because you have a defined ground center and the ajna, the opinion center, the mind. And with a defined ground center, you have that energy as well, that you want to understand how things work. So it is not the one line that makes that, it's your design itself, the energy. The difference between you and the line 1 is a line 1 wants to know things to feel secure. The more they know, the better prepared they feel for whatever might come. For you, it's really because you want to know things. It has not so much to do with safety for, oh, I don't know enough. It's more like, oh, I want to know how that works. So the reason, the motivation behind that, I want to know things, is just different. So this is how you can tell if it's the 1 line or just the head center defined. Okay, so that's the first line. Then we have the second line, and that is your unconscious line. So I'm super curious to see if you can resonate with that. And the 2 line or the second line is quite interesting because it has 2 aspects with it. The first one is people with a second line are super talented. They are the people that somehow can do a lot of things without having to put much effort into that. Most of the time, the second line people don't even understand or see that. They think it's normal or they're not that good. And it's not that you are a pro in everything. It's not that you can do everything perfectly. But if you learn new things, you're easy to pick it up. It's not difficult for you to learn new things. And that makes you special, makes you amazing, because you are really great with picking things up. On the other hand, if there are things that you are like, that doesn't come naturally to you, the possibility or the likelihood that you put effort into that and really try to learn this certain thing is pretty slim, just because why would you put effort into something that doesn't come naturally when there's so many things that are naturally for you? And that's the second line. Exactly. And that's how it works, okay? And when you're an adult, I think it's getting easier. But as kids, it's quite difficult, because when you go to school, when you're in kindergarten, you have to do things. And for the second line, if these things don't come naturally to you, and the adults kind of like pressure you into doing that no matter what, to put time and effort into that, to learn something that doesn't come naturally to you, this is against your energy. This is just not meant for you. And this makes it sometimes a little bit challenging for kids with a second line, just because you can't be in your natural energy. So yeah, second line. And there are 2 aspects to it. So this is the talented things. And the second one is that a second line likes to have some time to be by themselves, to go in reflection mode, to just, it can be in an argument, it can be after being with people, it can whatever, whenever it is. But there are moments in your day or in your life where, like, you know what, I don't need anyone right now. Just leave me be. I just need to be with myself. Typical for in line as well.
Yeah, I resonate so much with that aspect of the line too. It's definitely something that I need. It's there's no questioning about having moments of just being by myself through the day. It's vital.
Yeah, exactly.
It's incredible how, like, otherwise I don't renew my energy. And I feel, depleted and drained. And through the years of like discovering more and more of myself, I started seeing that very clearly, when before, I would maybe just push and keep on going, or not understanding why I would feel so tired all of a sudden. And then, yeah, it just, it was very, very amazing to have an understanding of that, and also realizing that it wasn't just me being lazy or whatever, or being antisocial. It's just that my being truly needs that.
Yeah.
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 To
And
reset.
yeah, for the listener who are like tuning in right now, you might not have a two line in your profile, but it also depends on how your body graph works. So sometimes, for example, I need my time as well. For me, it's the sixth line. I explain it in just a bit, but it can also be because you only have two centers defined, or you have an undefined emotional center where you're super empathetic against, or like for the feelings of others, and you just need time for yourself to get back to your own energy. So there are different ways where you can see that, but a second line definitely needs time for themselves. So it's great that you felt that for you, and that you incorporated that in your life, and that you understand and have the chance to give it that time that you need. So that's great, for sure. Yeah. Right.
And then we have line 3.
Yeah, line 3. Line 3 people, I personally love them, just because these are the people that have to really try things out. So these are the ones when you, as a 2-5, or 5-2, sorry, my
2. Yeah.
5-2, when you see already that things don't work, you also projector, you also have that wisdom that, oh, I can see that this is not efficient, or you should do that differently. And people with 3 in their profile are most likely to say, thank you for letting me know, but let me do it myself. I just need to do it myself. So they need to try things out on their own. And it is just the way they learn. It's just the way they function, because this is how they make their experiences, and how they learn through their own experiences. And as much fun as this is, for outsiders, it sometimes can be triggering, because they see that their loved one is about to make a mistake, in their opinion. So they say, don't do that. I just want to keep you secure. I just want to make sure you don't get hurt, or you don't make a mistake, whatever it is. The third line people said, you know what, let me be, don't be, don't, just give me my space, let me do the thing. So then they do the thing, and then we have 2 options. The first option is it didn't work out. So the person that said it doesn't work out said, see, I told you so. Why don't you ever listen to me? And the third line person is like, what the fuck? It doesn't matter. I know now that it doesn't work, but I know. So that's the first option. The second one, it did work out. So the third line people, see, I told you so. Let me just give my own. The other person's like, oh, you know what? Just because this time it worked, next time we have the same again. So this is all about communication. And funny enough, my boyfriend and I have that situation, because even though I'm a 4-6, the 6 contains the third line. And we have that agreement that when he sees that things won't work, he just tells me, okay, just go for it. And afterwards, he asks me what I learned from it. So he helps me to reflection mode and ask me what is my learning. So he gives me the space to do whatever I need to figure things out. But afterwards, he's by my side and helps me go through that. Okay, what is it, what I learned from that? So this is kind of like our little strategy and agreement, and this might help other line people as well.
Yeah, that's so good. Really cool.
Then we have the 4th line and the 5th line, and I kind of like to explain them together, because they have some similarities and then they don't. So of course they are different itself. But on networker. So the 4th line and the 5th line people like to connect with other people, just like we are. I'm a 4th line and you're a 5th line. We like to connect. We like to bring a message to the world, to the people. This is just like what our profile is about. The difference is a 4-line person is more, how to explain it? It's more about the heart connection to a small amount of people. So I don't need to have a big circle of friends. It's not what I'm about. It's more, I'm happy if I have 1 or 2 people around me that I'm fully trusting, and I would do everything for them. I'm a very serving person. if it's
Mm-hmm.
if it's on a good balance, of course. You know, if they take advantage of
Yeah.
that, of course, they're not anymore. But in general, I'm a super serving person. I would do everything for the person that I'm connected with. A fifth line might
Yeah.
do it as well because you have that you want to help people as well. That is just something that is so
Mm-hmm.
for you, being there for others. The the difference between that is you are more for like the whole world. You're not necessarily speaking
Mm-hmm.
just one person, but you're speaking for the world. It's just the way it is. I'm not like I'm good with the one-on-ones. I'm good with I talk to you and you bring it out to the world. And the fifth line is
Yeah.
why would I just keep this message for one person or for a small group of five? Why
Yeah.
not just spread it into the world? So it's more like the crowd that's different. And
Okay.
for
Mm.
a fine person, I'm curious to see if you resonate with that. It's all about expectations. People have
Mm.
expectations, and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
this expectation doesn't even have to do something with you. You might not even know about that. And then they might be disappointed because you don't fulfill
Yeah.
that expectation, even though it has nothing to do
Mm-hmm.
with you. And this is something it's challenging because they make you
Mm.
responsible for something that you're not responsible for. And then you kind of
Mm.
like are need to find a way how to deal with that, how to go about that, how to
Yeah.
get communication, but it's also the
Yeah.
expectations that you have for yourself because you, of course, you
Yeah.
kind of reject it, but you give it back, but you also have it with you. So
Mm.
expectations that you have for
Mm.
yourself. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
expectations. It's like a big keyword for the fifth line for
Mm. Yeah, for sure. And I'm actually wondering, so obviously it's something that happens completely subconsciously. I don't know what it is in the line 5 that says to others, "Oh, I can help you," or "I have your answers." I don't know. Obviously, it's the type of energy that says that, even though we might not even think, "Oh, yeah, I can help these people." But I don't know. Yeah, it's as you said, it's like it's a, I don't know, it's a projection, and yeah, it happens that people expect something. I don't really, yeah, I don't know how it all works. Like, uh, it's, but I've definitely felt that in my life. Like, yeah, that sense of like they see something in me or expect me to be something or someone for them, when really I don't. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I
yeah.
don't think I am that person. I don't know. It's really strange.
That is
Yeah.
also something you can see other people, but sometimes it's a little bit challenging to see yourself and the things that you put to the
Yeah.
table. So that is quite normal because
Yeah.
you're really good to
Okay.
say, oh, you're good with that and you could do that. That is just part of your energy.
Mm.
But seeing yourself might be
Mm.
more challenging. And
Yeah.
the expectation you just said, they invite you to help them or share your opinion or
Yeah.
guide them. The invitation,
Yeah.
of course, it's amazing for a projector being invited to share your opinion to help them. But getting
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
invitation doesn't necessarily mean that you have to take it on. You can still decide
Yeah.
if this is an invitation you want to agree
Yeah.
to. So super, super
Mm.
important. And we didn't get into authority a bit earlier,
Mm.
but
Mm.
this is part where
Mm.
your authority comes into place because your authority helps you
Mm.
to make a decision. It tells you, hey, this is a yes for you, this is a go, or you might want to think about that, or no, 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 this is nothing for you, even if you get
Yeah.
invited. So this is where the
Yeah.
authority is really important to make decisions for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So the last one, the
Yeah.
number 6.
The sixth line is a little bit a sneaky one because this is the only
Mm.
line that is changing throughout life. So people with a sixth
Mm.
line change their outlook on life or how people see them. And they start as the third line. So I just take my own example. The third line
Yeah.
for me, the first 30 years around. It's not that with my 30th birthday it changes. It's of course a smooth change. But the first 30 years of my life, I did so many different things. I tried out so much. I moved across all over the place. I tried different jobs.
Yeah.
I took this course. I tried this, different friendships, different relationships, never worked out, whatever. So it's a lot about experiences, experiences, experiences. That is the first part
Mm-hmm.
of the sixth line. The second part, it's
Mm-hmm.
between 30 and 50. Like I said, it's not straight
Mm-hmm.
that way, but around this time.
Mm-hmm.
And the third line is not as prominent anymore. It's more the second line that gets prominent, and it's all about reflection. As in, what did I learn? What take I out of this? What do I have to try again just to make sure that this is what I learned from it? So it's a lot calmer, I'd say. For me, it was almost a little bit like a midlife crisis because my life changed. Like I was on the road all the time, and really with 30, 32, I think I started to have my own apartment. I got a boyfriend ever since. I have a cat. I have like, I'm kind of feels almost settled. I was like, what's going on? This is not me. I'm like the wild soul, just, going wherever I feel like I want to go. So for me, it was, I'm not sure if I like that change. Now that I'm a little bit older, I do understand, where it comes from, what it means to me and all that. So it's good. But yeah, the change, it's a challenge. It's a challenge for sure. But it's important because the fifth, like the third phase, like about 50, 52 until whenever it's time for you to go, it's the third phase, and it's all about the wisdom, the knowledge that people can feel you have about life, that you figured out life, that you know how things work. And it's not that we have to be with people all the time. It's all like almost like an outstanding position. But if people have the feeling they need some guidance, some mentorship, they come and they reach out and say, Judi, I feel your sixth line. You're smart. Tell me, what can I do? Can you guide me? Can you mentor me? Whatever it is. So this is where my sixth line comes through. And it's not that it only starts when you're 50 and older. It's already there. It's already there. And if you have at the first level, like the first number, like a 6-2 or a 6-3 or whatever it is, it's always there anyway. So it depends on what position the number is on, but this is what the sixth line brings to the table. It's that a lot of experiences, but also the wisdom to understand and make it achievable for everyone.
All right. Okay. And so, well, that brings me to my next question then, because I'm assuming since you discovered human design, it had an impact on the way you run a business, right?
Yes.
And so can you tell us a little bit, taking your chart as an example, how human design can help someone in their business, and how you, for instance, applied something very specific in your business according to your chart and your body graph and all of that.
Absolutely. So I would start first knowing your own design, but then also knowing the design of the other person, because I mean, of course, there's a difference. So knowing your own design, I think it is amazing for finding your own strategies to market to yourself, to build your personal brand, to like how much work do you want to actually do, what kind of work you want to do. And I'll just take the example, I'm an MG, you're a projector. Me as an MG, for me, it's most important to just go with the flow and just whatever I feel like, ooh, I want to do that, I just go for that. When I started that, I can still go in myself and ask me again, okay, so now I tried. Is this really what I want to do or not? And then if I want to do that, I just go and I just finish and I just make it happen. If I decide, it doesn't feel like it, I don't resonate with it as I thought I would, I just leave it be and start something new. There's a lot of change, there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of energy going on. Okay, so this is a little bit for the manifesting generator. So I don't do content planning. It's not, I can't plan the content for a whole month and just do all that. It's like, oh, I feel like I want to post that. Bam, out it goes. Whatever. Oh, I want to make a story. Okay, just make a story. I don't want to post for a week. Whatever. I don't post for a week.
I feel like that too, though. That's
Yes,
funny.
okay. But wait a sec. The difference is there's a difference in the energy itself. The thing is, just because I experience it this way doesn't mean a different manifesting generator has the same. It can be different from each person to each person depending on their whole design. So you're not only your energy type, you're everything of your energy. So that's super important. As a projector, for you, it's probably more like also what you feel like doing and what invites you to be shared, who wants to be like, contacted, who wants to get into a connection, how can you get your own time, how can you align with yourself. So it might feel the same for you, but the energy behind it, for me, it's the volcano. And for you, it's that let's do it in our way, in our sequence, in our like in the flow. So it's just the energy behind it that's different.
Okay, I see. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. It's definitely
exactly.
that.
And for me, the biggest change was the understanding of my talents that I have. Because one of the talents, for example, is that I can sell really good. I have the sales channel. And
Yeah.
when I figured that out, I was like, oh my God, great. Now I can sell everything. And I mean, I knew I'm good with selling things. What I didn't understand back then is I only sell things really great when I'm first absolutely 100% sure that great product or great offer. And the second, if I know that this is amazing for this person. And the third, if I'm not selling just because I want to sell, but if I'm selling because I think this is really something that the other person can help. So for me, understanding this energy is like, okay, I don't want to sell things. I want to support people. For me, it's not about I want to sell 5 of my offers. It doesn't matter. If it's for like one time, 5 or 10, it doesn't matter. For me, it matters that I support people. But when you see, oh, I have the sales channel, I can't sell everything. It doesn't work if you have that pressure on, I want to sell because of the selling part. So super, super important. And when I work with clients, of course, working with human design, I always ask for the other person's design so I can see what kind of authority they have. So when I want to, introduce them to my offer, for me, it's not you need to make a decision now and I give you 24 hours and you get a bonus on top or whatever it is. Just because if someone has an emotional authority for us, they are not meant to make a decision right away. They are meant to think about it, feel into that, sleep a night over it, maybe 2, maybe 3. Reflector that doesn't have an inner authority, they might need even longer, and that is fine. If it's a sacred being, I can ask them right away, how do you feel about it? Yes, okay, cool. You don't need to think about it. It's a decision that you have within you, and that helps me a lot to just know and guide people and have already that experience. Hey, this is what I can teach you. This is how I can mentor you. Feeling your body tells you what you want. So that for me was a big changer. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. And where do we see the authority on the body graph again? Is that something that's written on the side?
So sometimes you have text next to it, but if you don't have it, you see it depending on the centers that are colored in, because they are in kind of like a hierarchy. When you see the chart, you have all the way on the bottom, you have this one, it's usually a rectangle. And then to the left and the right, there are 2 triangles that point towards the right. The one on the right-hand side is the solar plexus, the emotional center. If this one is colored in, no matter how the rest of the chart looks like, doesn't matter. If this one is colored in, this is automatically the authority. So if you have the emotional authority, it's important to not make decision out of the blue. Just quickly, like, hey, do you want to join me on my human design retreat? Okay, yes, cool, awesome. The next morning, you might wake up and say, oh, what did I do? Oh, no, I don't feel like going to the retreat. This is because you made a decision out of the blue. And for them, it's okay to wait a little bit to sleep over that. The next one in the line is the one next to it. It's the sacred being. This is the yes and no. Do you want to come? Yes. Okay, cool. No, okay, you don't want to. Fine. Then it's the spleen, then it's the heart center, then it's the self-projection authority that is yours. For you, for example, it's super important to feel what you identify with. Do you see yourself doing these things? How does it resonate with who you are as a core being? And for you, for example, it helps a lot to speak to people, to hear different opinions, or maybe not even hear different opinions. It's more like hearing yourself speak and then feel what resonates most with you when you hear yourself speak. And you can also talk to your mirror, you can make a video diary, you can, also call a friend, talk for half an hour. The other person doesn't have to say anything, but this already might help find your, you know what, this feels good, this feels like me, this is my decision, I'm going for it. Yeah.
Gosh, okay. So my authority is self-projected?
Yes. Yeah, that's because all the centers underneath are white, and the first one defined is this little diamond shape center in the middle, and this is the identity center for like the self. And because this one is defined, automatically your authority.
I was wondering what in the name of my profile, what self-projected was about, because I thought you also have like the mental projector, the emotional projector, and the energy projector. No,
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Well, the energy projector has nothing to do with the authority itself. It's more kind of like we have three different ones. We have the energy projector, we have the classic projector, and we have the mental projector. So these three are like the different types, and it all depends on what centers are defined.
And what am I again?
You are a classic projector, because for an energetic projector, you would have to have defined one of the four, like one of the three motor centers.
And I don't. I have, it's completely undefined.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
can you actually,
the heart center is a motor. The solar plexus is a motor. The root center, the sacral is one too, but as a projector, you never have the sacral defined anyway. So it would have to be one of the three others to be an energy projector. The classic projector is everything but the motor centers. And a mental projector is you only have the crown, the mind, and the throat center, or just the crown and the mind, or just the mind and the throat. So it's only the top three centers. And just because itself, this makes you a classic projector.
Yeah, okay. For people listening right now, this might sound like Chinese to you, but it is human design Chinese. And it's pretty great. And I'm sure you want to know more about yourself. So just jump online and get your body graph, and you'll start to understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, they might as well just get in contact with me and send me the data, and I just pull up.
Of course, I'll put
for their own chart.
I'll put all your details in the comments. And just quickly, because then we get moving, but can you just say what it means when, and for any types of profiles, when none of the centers at the bottom are defined, when they're all like, transparent or not colored in? What does that mean?
Like with yours? Oh, so when the white itself?
Yes.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Means that you're super that you can feel the energy that the other person brings into the room. So for example, you and me, for us, it is like that. If we are like alone in a room and someone enters, you can feel right away if they're in a good mood or if they're in a bad mood. You just feel that because you are able to feel the energy that the other person brings into the room. So the more centers you have white, the more sensitive you are towards the energy from the outside world. And the more it is like you enjoy time on your own just to cleanse yourself of all the energy that influences you. For example, I only have two undefined centers. So I am one that is really strong in my energy. When I enter a room, I'm like, I'm there. Just, you don't even see me. You feel me coming in just because I bring so much energy to the table. Oh, it's just a difference.
Okay. Cool. And just going back also on the whole, like projector defining getting their answers. And maybe I misunderstood that part, but projectors bounce back their ideas onto people, like that's how they can find answers for themselves, or is it people who bounce back their ideas with projectors?
No, tell me. This is your authority. This is because you're self-projected authority. So this is only for you as the projector that you are. There might be an emotional projector who needs to sleep over the decision to feel into that of that decision. There might be a speaker projector that is really intuitive, that can make a split-second decision, like, oh, that's the one. I don't know why, I just go for it. So it just depends on the authority. It has nothing to do with the projector.
All right. Okay. Cool. And and I don't know, I thought I also heard somewhere that when people need advice, I guess it's more about the whole like projector who can see what is more efficient for a person to do. So they come to projectors, they feel attracted to projectors to guide them. I guess that's probably where I got confused.
Oh, that's a magic projector. This is amazing what you guys can do without putting any effort in, because it's just so natural for you. It is just, no, I mean, my best friend is a projector, and I just love him to bits for who he is in his energy, because while I take 2 hours to get a project done and get all my energy because I have so much, I just can't use 2 hours. And you have one look at this project and you say, Judi, we could have done it in 10 minutes. What? Why? You are so efficient. You are so smart. You can see right away what can be optimized and everything. The challenge here is not everyone wants to hear that opinion. Not everyone wants to hear what you have to say. So it needs to be invited still. So I always call my friends and say, hey, do you have an idea? This is the project. What can we do? So I invite. But if I wouldn't do that and you would tell me, oh, why didn't you do it that way? I'm like, just leave me be. Let me do it myself. So this is just
exactly
the challenge that comes with that.
No, that's a key. It's a key thing to, I guess, learn for projectors is that unless you are invited to share your guidance and your words, it's best if you stay, or I was going to say, if you stay in your corner, no, because you can be doing your things and showing what you can do and what you know. But really in terms of guidance to people, it's always best to wait to be invited to share your point of view.
The fun thing is, because you said for projectors, the thing is, it is for all the energy types, because when you look at channels, the channels, they have sometimes a projector energy, sometimes a generator energy, sometimes the manifestor energy. And most of the channels are projector energy. So we all have to wait until we get the invitation to do certain things. So just because I'm not a projector doesn't mean I still can wait for an invitation to share my opinion or to chip in or to be like to share my energy. So for you, it's generally thinking yes. But for other people, it is still the same. Just because I'm an NG doesn't mean I can just share my opinion and take it or leave it. I can still see if the other person is ready to receive. Because if they're not, they won't listen anyway. Nothing I ever say will get to them. So it's always important to make sure that the other person wants to hear what you have to say.
Of course. Okay. So quickly, can we just like go through maybe in 1 or 2 words, what are the types good at? Well, we've talked about projectors, but for instance, generators, if you had to say like, okay, they're good at blah, 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 and then manifesting generator, go through the list of the profiles and quickly say, these guys, they're good at this and this.
That is a challenging one because again, the person is not only their energy type, they are so much more energy type. But just
what they're known for,
Yeah, just for the sake of. So a generator and a manifesting generator, these are the ones that get things done. They are in the world to just get going because they have energy and they enjoy doing things, they enjoy being productive. So generators and MGs are the ones that get things done. Doesn't mean that they don't need breaks. It doesn't mean that they do everything. It doesn't mean that they work on end. It means they can work when they enjoy doing what they're doing. Super important. A projector is amazing with optimizing things, with being efficient, with seeing people for who they are, for being for seeing the value in other people. That is something that you're amazing with. Also, time for yourself, winding down, just, getting out of the energy of other people is amazing for you as well. A manifestor, they are like, I think these are the ones that have the biggest challenges, and that's just my personal opinion. It's just my individual opinion. But because they have these amazing impulses, like, I have an idea, bam, I go for that. And these are like energy spurges that they have, and then they just go. And people that are with them, they are left behind because they never are as fast as a manifestor. And usually they are like, what are you doing? Why didn't you tell me? Like, what is going on? I don't understand. And that is often where the challenges come in because they feel left behind, and the manifestor just doesn't want to keep their energy hidden. They just want to use that. So they are amazing when they have their spurges, and they are amazing when they're in their rest cycle where they just calm down. They are not creative at all. They just need time for themselves. And it is all about communicating with the other person, just not to ask for permission. Hey, I have this idea. Is it okay for you if I just go and for 3 days go fishing and build a fishing hut? It's not about permission. It's only about information. It's all about, hey, don't worry if I'm gone for 3 days. I just have this amazing idea. I'm going to be back. Thank you. Gone. But I think this is like, for me, this is the most beautiful type, but it's also the most challenging one. I enjoy
Yeah.
manifestor energy a lot. I love the energy. I love all the energies. Okay, that was okay. Anyway, but yeah, it is. And then with the
You can have your favorites.
well, no, the thing, like I don't think I have favorites because each type is so
I'm joking.
amazing. It's just I want them all. I want all of them.
Yeah.
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 And the reflector, and I think reflectors, they are challenged by the world in that we live in as well, because our world is based on do a lot, work a lot, earn a lot, be the best. And a reflector is not here to work their asses off. They are here to guide us because they are so sensitive. They are so smart in their energy. And what I do, for example, I mean, I offer human design retreats and I have a reflector with me. And the what the reflector is for, she doesn't have to do anything prior to the retreat, in the retreat, afterwards. If she stays at the beach all day long and just enjoys her life, I'm totally fine with that. The only thing that I have with me is she can feel the energy of the group. She can feel the energy of each individual and can say, hey, you might not even have that in your conscious, but I can feel that there's something that you want to look at. Have a feeling in here because she can feel your whole energy and she can give that back to you. She can be the reflector. And I had this experience. I was having that experience with another reflector, and I was mind-blowing. That was the first time I was able to feel what it must feel like to be in front of me, to feel my own energy. And that was the first time I
Wow.
felt how powerful I am. And that was mind-blowing. So a reflector is amazing. Having a reflector in your circle, it's
Yeah.
the lottery. Yeah, as if you would want to.
Mm.
Yeah, super, super special.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I think there might have been one or two people in my life that I suspect to be reflectors, but I never was able to confirm. And yeah, I met. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is with a reflector, and that's super important, and that's, I mean, almost the same for everyone else, but with the reflector especially, they are not meant to say, tomorrow I make this, and the day after I make this. They get up in the morning and they just feel into their energy and feel what they feel like doing. So working with reflector, I love working with them just because it's always a surprise. You never know what's going on. And it's not that I say,
Yeah.
okay, so this is your task, you have to do this and this and this. No, I just put it out there and she can choose if she wants to do something. And if not, then that's okay. I don't have that expectation. I honor her in her energies that she can choose every single day what she wants to do, how she wants to be, like what she identifies with. I think this is the most challenging thing when you are together with a reflector. For the reflector, but
Yeah.
for the other person, just because it is not meant to be, it is more kind of like really let the person be who they are without having those expectations, with being
That
angry that they
resonates.
Mm.
Yeah. That actually resonates. Sometimes I feel like it's really day by day, like depending on, yeah. Actually, before you said at some point that in any profile, you will also have the energy of another type, somewhere in your chart. I think you mentioned that. Like,
I
yeah,
think when we had the reading, I might have mentioned that, right? With the profile lines that you have them in all of your chart. Is it that what you mean? Or?
yeah. No, I mean that, for instance, it's possible for a manifesting generator to also have, and I don't know what it's called, a projector line or a reflector line or something like that. Is
Yeah.
that correct?
I mean, there are no reflector channels just because a reflector doesn't have a single
Okay.
channel because the chart is all white.
Okay.
But yes, it depends
Yeah.
on the channel. So there are some channels that can just react. It doesn't need an invitation from the outside. It just needs to react. These are all the like most of the channels that go from the sacral center. Then you manifesting channels. These are the ones that connect the throat center with one of the motors, because these are initiate. They don't have to wait for an invitation as well. And all the other projector channels. So yeah, it depends on. I have a lot of projector channels as well.
Okay. And so, because I'm curious, obviously, on my chart, what other channels do I have? Like
So you have the
in my
The 731. And you
Okay.
only have projector channels just because you're a projector, so you can't have any other channel.
Yeah, I can't have any other.
Yes,
That was my question.
Operator or whatever it is. So because you can only have projector channels, and as a reflector, you don't have channels. As a manifestor, you can have manifestor channels and projector channels, and as a generator, you have all of them.
All right. Okay. Okay. Question. Do you have a human design book that you've discovered and that you would recommend, or anything? Yes, not a book actually on human design.
So if you're new to human design, I recommend of 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏, just because he's the best.
Okay.
I'd say he's so knowledgeable, and the way he explained things, it is just amazing. And
Okay.
following him on Instagram might be a good idea, just because he shares things as well. You might even want to take a little class with him and stuff. So if you want to read your first book in human design, I would totally recommend Human Design with 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll put that same in the comments below. Link, wonderful. And I think we are coming towards the end. I still have a little, I like to ask people, do you have a favorite quote you often go back to, or maybe one that you've recently stumbled upon that you would like to share with us, that inspires you? And
I do have the thing that I base my life on, and I don't know who said it or if someone said it, but this is just my quote. Lost and found for missed opportunities.
Yay! That's very cool. That's very cool.
Type as well, being in the moment and just go for it, like doing it and not think too much about things. But yeah, there's found for missed opportunities, and I really, really
that's so good. Now, finally, if you could have a little chat to your younger self, and I don't know, what would you feel like sharing with her or telling her? What would you say to her?
Not quite sure, but probably that life has so much beauty in store, and even if there are times that it looks like stormy and windy, that she shouldn't be in doubt that sunnier sides are coming, because this is what's going to happen, and just life is going to unfold in its full beauty.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's beautiful and a great advice for anyone. Thank you.
All the self, right?
No, it's so good. Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. When we are in the midst of a storm, sometimes it feels like, it's the end of the world and we're never gonna see the end of the tunnel. And then a few months later, you're like, oh yeah, no, I did come out of that, and I understand now why it happened this way. And so yeah, I think it's a good reminder for everyone. You mentioned this. Oh, sorry.
Would you tell your younger self?
Yeah, I think it would have been something along those lines as well. Like, first of all, I would tell her, I love you. I love you, and I see you, and everything is going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
As well,
I think
appreciate it. It's really appreciated for your younger self and really empowering. So that too, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you've done that. I've practiced a little bit of, like, the inner child, healing, healing, and talking to your inner child, and even looking at pictures of yourself. I don't know if you've ever done that, and it can be quite, it can get very emotional, like in the sense that all of a sudden you really see yourself and all that you've been, and at the same time see that you're still that little child. She's still in there, she's still here.
Yeah.
She's still here, and she's proud of you, and she's, and she's also wanting you to hold her hands, and and to reconnect with her. And
Yeah.
I found that so powerful.
Absolutely. Inner child work is the most important thing that someone can do. And I think this is also something
Yeah,
probably smart to start with when you start with mindset
yeah,
like that and with personal.
yeah,
I think the first thing you should look
yeah,
at your inner child, because she or he,
yeah,
everything who you are is based
yeah.
on your child.
Yes, exactly. And I actually can remember the day someone put me in that position of talking to my inner child for the first time. And it was many years ago. I was back in Paris for I was just visiting family, and then I went in to see a shaman. I think she was she was calling herself a shaman, and we were doing a session like energy work, and she was talking and saying things that she was sensing, and she brought it up. She was like, "Oh, I'm seeing, I'm seeing you. Can you picture yourself? Can you picture yourself as a 5-year-old?" And that was kind of like, oh, because it was the first time, I think, that I put myself in that position of looking at myself, at my younger self. And it was very, very powerful. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, yeah, highly recommend that. Um, you, you mentioned earlier that you do retreats.
I do.
And those retreats, are they human design retreats? Are they anything else retreats? What are they? Can you tell us a little bit more about those retreats?
Absolutely. So I use in my retreats, it's all about your own energy. And because the experience that I've made is with human design, a lot of people talk about human design, but it's super in theory. It's about you are this type and this is what it looks like, blah, blah, blah. But just because you have the knowledge doesn't mean that you can transform that in daily life, that you can actually use this to have a look at how you behave or why you are triggered by certain things. And my retreats are exactly for that. What does it mean to be a projector with a self-projected authority? What does it mean to have the emotional waves going on? How do you know your body says yes or no to things? How do you know it's own energy? How do you know it's different energy from someone else? How you can cleanse yourself? How do you can decide intuitively? How can you trust yourself? It's all about you and how it feels like to be you. So this is like what it's about. And it's always 4 days. It's always with 4 women. And yeah, this is kind of like the core of everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
So cool. Do you have a favorite destination? Where do you take those women?
So this year I was in Croatia, which was amazing because Croatia is just such an amazing country with the most beautiful beach sides and bluest water, and we had this amazing villa overlooking the ocean, and that was special. And we are going to be in a little castle in the south of Germany, so this is just a total different vibe, but not amazing. Um, I'm probably going to the States, America. So this will be an English one again. And I thought about going to, Guadeloupe or some Caribbean island, or I don't like the word, or I might even come back to Australia there, or in Bali, or India. Who knows?
Yeah. You've been to Australia before?
I lived there, yeah. I lived there in Brisbane, up at the Gold Coast.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I loved
nice.
Australia, and I wouldn't mind coming back for sure. But yeah, like I'm
Yay!
for me, it's more like being in the moment and just reacting to whatever comes my way. So if someone
Yeah.
says, "Judy, I would like to, let's plan a retreat together, let's, pull this up and let's do this in Australia." And okay,
Yeah.
so I'm in, whatever, cool, awesome. So for me,
I love that.
it's, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I love that. Things that I want to talk about, and we're not that we're running out of time, but I guess, it would be an entire other episode. But quickly though, what do you think about two profiles that come together and that would create like a third entity? Is that a thing? Does that happen?
It happens, especially. So, I mean, this is a little bit in depth, but sometimes you have people, you and I don't belong to this group of people because we are like, and we are whole in ourselves. We don't need other people to
Mm-hmm.
whole. And the other,
Okay.
everyone is whole in their self, but some people
Yeah,
profit
yeah.
connecting with others because they have we call it a split definition. That means you have centers defined, they can talk to each other through the channel, but then there's no connection to other centers that are defined. So there's a gap, but when they are together with another person that bridges that gap, that has the opposite gap, you have the channel that they,
Okay.
and when you come together and you put the charts over each other and they bring the opposite of the other, but they complement,
Ah,
make a whole, building the channels, and it's
yeah.
one definition. They are one system,
Okay.
one else, and it's just like magic when they come together. And I can feel
Yeah, okay.
with people, sometimes you meet someone and you know, wow, you're my person. You're just amazing. I don't know why, but you're great. And most
Yeah, okay.
you come together and you create an energy that just fits, that it's just balanced, that it's just
Okay.
so most
All
likely
right. Interesting.
because you complement.
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying I don't have any split. I don't have a split in my chart?
Oh, wait,
Okay.
you do have a split in your chart. Sorry,
Okay.
you do have.
I was just checking. I can't. For me, I'm looking at the charts like, yeah, it's just colors, it's just lines. I don't know anything.
For you, it's the self center, like connected with the throat center, but then there's
Yeah.
connection between the mind and the crown. So the two on top
Okay.
connected with each other, they can talk, but then the other two
Yeah.
underneath can talk, but there's no connection between the four of them.
Ah, so that's a split. Okay.
So you
All
probably
right. Because
from me because I have the channel, the 1762,
yeah,
the mind with the throat. So I'll give you the flow.
yeah.
And together we
Ah,
find but the emotional center and all our
uh-huh.
flow. And this is why there's so much,
Okay.
but our emotions are pretty and enjoyable, stable, just because we both don't bring the emotions to the table. So
Okay.
nice.
All right, cool, cool. Yeah, because I was going to say, I think with my sister, we collaborated on projects, and I think after discovering human design, we were like, I think that explains also a lot. It feels like when we combine each other, when we come together, it's like there's a third entity coming out of that thing. It's like, so I don't know her chart, but I
I think,
would not be surprised.
I think she's
Yeah, it's
just like me,
she's a
like,
manifester. She's a manifester 6-2.
but yeah, this is what's called a composite chart. So yeah, this is super interesting as well. And for sure, yeah, you can create
Yeah.
a new energy together. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Mm. All right. Well, thank you very much. And before I let you go, where can people contact you, find you on social media? Yes. What's the best point of contact for you?
So it would be Instagram. That's just
Yeah.
the way to connect with me. It's the roaming lioness, and I think you put it into
Yeah.
the description as well, right? And yeah, I mean, people that speak German, I do have a way more active account in Germany. It's Judi.Lion, just because you know
Yeah.
it's my mother.
Yeah. That's cool.
But yeah, these are the two
Yeah.
I'm most active on. So it's the roaming
All
lion,
right.
Judi.Lion.
Okay, great. I'll put that definitely in the comments below. And quickly again, why the roaming lioness? How did that come to you? Where does that come from?
Like my
Just
last name is Lion, so that was why I was wanted to do the lioness thing. And I'm roaming the world. I just love exploring the world. I love to see every country of this world.
yeah,
Lived in 6 different
yeah.
countries, and I've been on the go for I lived from a backpack, worked in different places, and
Oh
so
my God.
roaming the world. And that's why how it came.
Wow. Yeah, so good. And so if any digital nomad or world traveler is like struggling or wanting to put together a business and live off like an online business, you are the person to come to. That's
Absolutely.
your.
I'm I'm not a coach, I'm a mentor. So I
Yeah, sorry,
no,
I said.
not there for motivating to get things done, but I'm a mentor. I can guide, and I am, of
Yeah,
course, experienced, and I use human design based on that. So we can talk about all
yeah,
the energy, all the things, figuring out what they
yeah.
want, how they want to do that. And yeah, absolutely, whoever is interested in that or
Oh,
curious, are you girl?
oh, wonderful. Now I have in front of me two decks of cards, and I was wondering if you wanted to draw a card. Well, I'll draw a card for you, but have a little, yeah. Which
All right.
one is?
Okay, just show me one deck and just ask me, okay? And then I'll just go with my sacral response because this is just my body. No, okay, the other one.
I knew it.
Why you forget that
It's so funny.
and I still need to read sacral response. And if there's two
Oh
fingers,
my God. That's so funny. I'm like, I'm gonna take the two decks, and but for some reason, and so that people know, we only chatted once when you did my reading, and like it's not like we know each other. But for some reason, I was like, I think she's gonna go for this one. Anyway, so if you have a topic, a situation that you want to bring up into your mind, or if you just want to be still and wait for a card,
I
up to you.
already have my impulse. Do you want me to share it, or do I just keep it for myself?
What is it? The question?
Do you want me to share my impulse, what energy I send into the card, or just keep it for myself?
It's up to you. It's up to you. You can, if you feel like sharing.
Okay, so now I'm going to share it, and you do whatever you want with that. The card that you're going to draw will give us an indication, an impulse, an insight on how our future collaboration could look like, the energy that comes with the two of us.
Um, so
Lord.
it is the Lord, and it says, "Take charge with authority."
What can I say? How amazing is this card, eh? I love it.
Beautiful card. All right. What's behind him? I'll let you have a look. I'll take a picture and I'll put it also down in the.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do that
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I do that with my retreat as well. So we pull a card for each day, and before I read
Yeah.
I always get the impulses of the girls, so they have to tell me 3 words that come with the card for them, what they feel from the card it tells them, just because we don't get
Yeah.
influenced by a book or whatever,
Exactly.
intuition.
Yeah.
So tell me what
You
happened
wanna.
before you read. Wait a sec. Before you read.
Yeah. Well, I feel power, determination, and um, yeah, power, determination, and confidence.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know. Do you wanna?
Yeah, I do see
You wanna share?
yeah, connection between humankind and nature and basic and the earth kind of thing. I do
Mm-hmm.
Strength because of his
Mm.
the way he looks at us, and
Mm.
willpower. Maybe that's
Yeah.
yeah. Connection would be my words.
Yeah, it's fierce, like fierce determination
He
and
knows what he wants. He knows
yeah,
what he wants, and with authority.
yes, yes. He's got that look like I know where I'm going, baby, and you're coming with me. So the message: don't be afraid to take charge or use your voice. Be strong. The Lord is the consort of the lady, the emperor in the traditional tarot, He represents an authoritative male who isn't afraid to lay down the law. But this doesn't mean he is angry or chauvinistic. He is self-possessed, reliable, and ambitious, a man of honor who has earned his place in society. The Lord in this oracle holds a ram staff and wears a crown of antlers, showing he keeps himself firmly rooted in the ground and is protective of his people. His regal air indicates he has a taste for the finer things in life, yet he is sensitive to those who are less fortunate than he is. And the extended message says, sometimes you have to take control in order to be honored. If you feel that your kindness or gifts are being taken for granted, it's time to change that. There is no excuse for bad behavior, and the ancestors are encouraging you to hold your ground and speak your mind in a fiercely loving way. You have the energy and might to overcome dramas or energies that aren't working for your growth. And it's time to take charge before you find yourself in a situation you don't want to be in. You are being encouraged to be the boss instead of being bossed. This card also brings the energy of ambition and can show you you have the potential to move upwards on a professional level, but only if you act with authority and show who you really are.
So glad
So,
for the card before you read the card.
I know, right? I love it. Oh, so beautiful. I'll send you the picture. And obviously, this can resonate with anyone who's listening today, and who might need to hear that as well. And so thank you so much, Judi. It was lovely to have you.
Yes,
really.
I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you. That was a really great start into the day for me. For you, it's the end of the day. And I'm like, okay, that was amazing. Use the energy now. Let's go. So thank you.
Cool, wonderful. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your day and an amazing retreat. So next retreat is in Germany, the one in Germany in the castle. Okay, cool. Well, you enjoy that, and I'll put all your details down below in the comments. And people, by all means, go to Judi to get a better understanding of human design. She's amazing. Her energy is amazing. And she is a well of wisdom when it comes to human design. Thank you so much, Judi. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Oh, yeah.